This movie cannot be stopped. It has been out for 4 box office weekends, and it is still #1. Even with another Disney movie coming out the same weekend, it still is #1. That is incredible. Black Panther this weekend made $41 million, only dropped 38%, which is around where I said it would drop. I think it's going to keep dropping at that steady pace to around 35 to 40%. And it has crossed $1 billion worldwide, which is absolutely incredible. And it will be, at least in America, the highest grossing comic book movie by, I would say, the end of maybe next week or a week after. We'll see. I think maybe end of next week, it'll pass the Avengers. If you don't count inflation, it will. And that is incredible. I would have never guessed that Black Panther would have done this well. I knew it was going to do well. I was expecting $300 to $400 million. I was expecting that, and that would have been great. But this big? Holy hell. And I don't think Disney really expected it at all either. I don't even think Disney expected this to get even close to $1 billion worldwide, let alone exceed that, because it just came out in China as well, and it did pretty well there. $65 million, that's pretty good for a black-centric hero in China. So this is a huge weekend for Black Panther, I think. This one is really big, because this is where it should have really dropped. 3 weekends of box office goodness. It should have dropped in its 4th, and it really didn't. It still held in there, even with A Wrinkle in Time, which is another black-centric Disney film coming out. That movie didn't even come close. It only made $33.3 million in its first weekend, which, considering the budget, isn't too bad. It only had like a $103 million budget. I'm sure it's going to do pretty okay in foreign box office, but this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to quality for movies like this. People were kind of excited for A Wrinkle in Time, but then reviews started coming out, and then word of buzz was just like really, really piss poor, and people didn't go see it. People, I mean, $33.3 million worth of people saw it, but not for the budget and for the hype and for the brand. It's a Disney movie. More people should have saw this. It has Oprah in it as a god character. This should have gotten way bigger. It should have been around the 45, 50, maybe even more range, but it settled for $33.3 million. We'll see how it holds. I don't think it's going to hold very well, especially next weekend where we got a few movies, Tomb Raider, Love, Simon, and then a week after that I think it's Pacific Rim. We'll see how it holds, but I don't think it's going to hold that well, especially with Black Panther still out. I think it's going to drop pretty quick. Besides that, we also had a brand new Strangers movie that came out, which made around $10 million, which was okay considering, you know, like cost like $5 million to make, so that's not too bad. That might be enough to see a sequel. I'm not sure. I actually did enjoy that film, so we'll see. We'll see. I don't think so, but we'll see. It took about 10 years for that movie to come out. I'm surprised it did as well as it did. It could have done even worse, like around $4 or $5 million, but it did 10. Not bad. That might also be because there's not really too many horror movies out there right now. Can't even think of one that's still out. Insidious is gone. Winchester no one saw. So really, it's not many. So people are clamoring to this one because there really isn't another horror film out there. Besides that, you also had the Hurricane Heist, which made like around $3 million. Wow. I mean, it cost like $35, $40 million to make. That's bad. That's a bad start for that movie. And then you had Gringo, which I don't think anybody in the world was excited to see. It made $2.6 million, which is really bad, but that's not surprising. Hurricane Heist is a little bit more surprising because I thought that was going to make around $6 to $7 million. When I went to the theater, it wasn't packed, but it had like a few people in there. So I was like, okay, this might actually do well. There was around about 15, 20 people in there. So this might actually do a little bit better, but I should never go by how many people are in my theater, because if I went by how many people were in my theater, then every movie would be a success, because there's always people in my theaters. It doesn't matter what day. I could be going on a Monday at, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, where everybody's at work and hating their lives, but there'd still be a few people in there. Like, what the really? Like, oh, alright. So, whatever. So anyway, yeah, this is a great weekend for Black Panther. Again, it is dominating, and yeah, that's all I got to say. I mean, we'll see how it plays out next weekend. I think it's going to play out very well for Black Panther again, but we'll see. I guess Tomb Raider might cut into its business because it's an action movie. I guess. I don't see Tomb Raider doing very well, though. We'll see. Love, Simon might take away its business a little bit because, I don't know, younger people might want to go see that. You know, mainly women, I'm assuming. I don't know. We'll see, though. But that movie looks actually like it could be a a big surprise in the box office. We'll see. It might even make more than Tomb Raider. But there you go. That is my box office, I guess, wrap up for this weekend. Black Panther is still the king, and all hail the king. Yeah, I'll do one. There you go. That's for you, T'Challa. So there you go. That's my my wrap up. So cool. Good job, guys.